Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Virtual Wargaming Live Battle Report. Today I am playing a 2000 point game of Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition between Dogs of War and Tomb Kings using a generated scenario. There's a lot of interesting things that can happen in a generated scenario, and none of them came up today. Because you can get like assaults, you can get meeting engagements. Nope, I just got a pitched battle. There's some interesting deployment zones. You could have like slanted in different directions. Nope, I got bog standard straight lines. I did, however, get something interesting with the objectives. So the Dogs of War, nothing interesting. They just have the conquest, which means victory points are scored like normal. But Tomb Kings, they will get an extra 500 victory points if they kill the general, which I will introduce in a moment. We also generated the Unstable Magic special effect. So at the start of each turn, players will roll off. The winning player gets +1 power dice or dispel dice. Obviously one side is Tomb Kings, so they act a bit differently. The Hierophant may add 1 extra dice on the incantation for the turn if they win that dice roll. I think that is everything I need to cover for that. So let me go ahead and jump into the army introductions, and we will start with the Tomb Kings. So, leading the army, we have a Tomb King General. This is exactly the same loadout as the Little Lords video, like a week and a bit back. So that is the Blade of Morning, the Golden Eye of Ranut, a Chariot of Fire, Light Armor, Shield, and obviously he's in a chariot. He is joined by a unit of 4 chariots, which have a champion, as well as an icon bearer. I acknowledge that he looks a little bit incorrectly positioned. Look, it's hard to get these together and make them all look coherent and correct, so I apologize for that. It is what it is. But this is an icon bearer. He's in a chariot. He doesn't have a shield or anything. I didn't have for the points to spare. But he is carrying the Standard of the Sands. Goodness, I cannot speak today. That basically just means that when he can activate it once per battle, and once per battle during an opponent's turn. For that turn, the opponent can't march, and they get a -1 leadership test when rallying troops. So this is a really good thing to use, just to prevent a trap from encircling if they needed to be marching for that. Or honestly, because this is a Dogs of War army, if the Paymaster dies and a bunch of things start fleeing, using it then to prevent them from rallying as effectively seems like a really good idea. So, in addition to that, we have another unit of 6 chariots with a banner bearer and a champion. We also have a unit of 20 tomb guards. The tomb guard, I believe, only have the musician and the standard bearer. Yes, that is correct, but they have the banner of the Undying Legion, which lets them regenerate their lost units throughout the game with a bound spell. Then we have a unit of 20 skeleton warriors, shields, light armor, just the usual melee build for these guys. No spears because I just really like the +1 armor save from hand weapons, honestly, and I don't think I'd ever use them. Next up we have a Screaming Skull Catapult. He is so goofy looking. I did my best with Hero Forge, but I am also not a patient enough man. So yes, this is a horse attached to a catapult frame with like big spinal cords, and then a giant hand that will throw the catapult bits at the enemy. There are in this unit the skeleton warriors are the crew basically, and we have joining them a Lich Priest. This Lich Priest is equipped with the Staff of Ravening, which is just a magic missile that he can use. So it's not the best position for him right now, but I probably will detach him and get him into a better position to attack later in the game. But I'm scared of some of the things on the Dogs of War side, so right now I want him in a unit. Finally, we have the centerpiece, a Lich Priest with a Casket of Souls and a Staff of Mastery. He is going to be the Hierophant for today. The Hierophant, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. I'm going to go with Hierophant and hope that's correct. And so if he dies, the whole army starts falling apart. But hopefully that doesn't happen, and hopefully the Casket can just mess up the Dogs of War. So, let's get over to the Dogs of War. Leading our Dogs of War, we have Lucrezzia Belladonna. This is the first time I have ever put a special character into this game, and the reason is very simply because Dogs of War don't have magic items, so I can't get out a cool lord. so I may as well run a named character. I went with Lucretia because, well, I was torn between her and Lorenzo Lupo. I went to a friend and I went, hey, pick one. And he went, I have no idea what you're talking about, but one of them's a cute girl, so pick that one. So for her spells, she has Creeping Death, Magic Missile, 24-inch range, D6 strength 3 hits, with no armor saves. Shades of Death, friendly unit within 6 inches causes fear. Unseen Lurker, an unengaged friendly unit may move up to 8 inches, which can be a charge. And Pit of Shades, this is the one I really wanted. We cast it on any unengaged enemy unit on the board. We put a little template over that unit, and then all models hit take a strength 3 hit. This is great because I want a way to kill this casket, and this is how I can do it. We also have a Hireling Wizard. She is using the Lure of Light. The Lure of Light never gets used. I understand why. I think it is only available to the Empire, to High Elves, and to Dogs of War. But I think it's good, so I'm running it, and hopefully it will see some benefits. She got Dazzling Brightness. Enemy unit within 18 inches engaged in combat has weapon skill reduced to 1. If I can hit the Tomb King with that, that is amazing. The Tomb Guard would also be nice. I don't think anything else really cares that much. But she also has Healing Hand. Any friendly model on the table regains all lost wounds. This is incredible. This means that characters that survive can just be restored, and there are a lot of characters today. For our final hero character, we have the Paymaster. The Paymaster doesn't have anything fancy. He just has a Talisman of Protection, a Heavy Armor Shield, Warhorse Barding, and he is running in a unit of Dogs of War Knights, or Heavy Cavalry, I should say. For the rest of the army, we have a unit of 20 Pikemen, a unit of 20 Dwarfs, a unit of 10 Halflings. These are all models you've seen before, I'm sure. The Birdmen of Katraza. Once again, I cannot speak. A new light cavalry unit. They just have bows, and they are going for a bit of a Nippon theme because Dogs of War can come from anywhere. And I was looking at the options. I saw the big Yumi bows, and I went, yeah, I like this. We are also running 2 new regiments of renown. First, we have Pizarro's Lost Legion in a block of 20 with 4 crossbows, so the standard amount of crossbows, an extra 10 pikes, and Volan's Venators. I love Volan's stupid square face. I think he looks so good like this. So with that is the Dogs of War army introduced. And before I forget, I need to run Lucrezzia? I think it's Lucrezzia. I looked this up and then immediately forgot. I apologize. We're going to keep going with Lucretia and forgive my Englishness for this. So we're going to quickly see if the Tomb Kings are poisoned. So this is going to be the Tomb King? No. The Icon Bearer? Yes. The Hierophant? Yes. And the other one? No. Okay, so these two have both taken 1 wound to start the game. And that's a real big problem for the Hierophant, because if he dies, the whole army falls apart. So I think that's all of my introductions that I need to get out of the way. So let's hop into it, and it is the the Tomb Kings first. So, unfortunately, these guys are kind of stuck just going 2 inches forward, because they were in the difficult terrain. These guys are going to start off by going 4 inches forward. Next up, we're going to move this unit 8 inches directly forward. No, that's 9 inches. 8 inches directly forward. And then this one, we're going to go 6 inches forward. And we're going to wheel them just a bit. I'm going to hope and pray that I don't wheel them too far. Perfect. And they go to 0.5 extra inches. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to wheel them again. I'm going to pull them back like this far to just account for the extra distance that they went. And that should work out how I want. So that brings me... Oh, I'm sorry, I also forgot about Lucrezia's Kiss. We are putting that on Pizarro, so he is going to have poisoned weapons today. Oh no, he's going to have Killing Blow today is what he's going to have. Oh, I also have to do the Potion of Pavona. Good thing I caught this. I'm going to pick... let's play it risky. Let's pick the Paymaster. 2. Okay, so we can up 2 of his attributes. We're going to up his his toughness. And I think his wounds can be upgraded, so I'm going to upgrade his wounds. He has 1 extra wound this turn as well, this game as well. So we're just trying to make him a bit more durable, since he is kind of the linchpin of our entire strategy. So that brings us to the Tomb King's magic. So we have to do things in a very specific order, which is first, the Tomb Guard banner, which we activate, doesn't do anything. The Icon Bearer, he doesn't have anything. Tomb Princes, nothing there. Tomb King. Okay, so he does 1d6, and he only has access to 2 of his abilities. We're going to go ahead and use Incantation of Urgency. Oh, the roll off, of course. Whoops, this is Tomb Kings. This is the Dogs of War, and in the case of a tie, I believe nothing happens. I don't think you're re-rolling this one. That's what we're going with today. So, alright, now then, Tomb King activating the incantation, he gets a 5. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 Dispel dice, but our Light Wizard does have the Staff of Sorcery, so 1 dice can be used to, well, every dice gets a +1, basically. Every Dispel attempt gets a +1. I'm going to keep this, though. I'm just going to let this happen, so these guys get to move. Give me 1 second. Actually, no, I don't need. I know how this works. Okay, we're going to move them 8 inches forward. And then we're going to do it again. 1. Alright, I'm throwing a Dispel dice at this, and that dispels it. So, these guys cannot Incantation of Urgency forward, which is very important. Okay. Next up, we have the Lich Priest. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and use Incantation of Righteous Smiting on the Screaming Skull Catapult. We are going to face him... We're going to face him this way, and then we're going to hope that I've set this up correctly. So we're going to set the guess range to be 26. Now we are going to fire the Stone Thrower. And I have set it up correctly, and it lands exactly on its spot. Which means, alright, give me 1 second, I need to double check something. Alright, I am back, and yes, so I was checking if this, circle is, correctly scaled, and the answer is yes, it is. I guess I could have just, measured this. So, this means that 3 guys hit on a 4-up, including the Paymaster, but obviously we have Lucrezzia in effect, so 2... The Paymaster? Nope, so only 1 of them gets hit. That's a 6 to wound, so I believe that he is just... I'm going to have to quickly check the rules on Stone Throwers, actually. So I will be back again. Alright, I am back, and yes, I was correct in thinking that they do not allow armor saves, so 1 dead knight, 1 dead heavy cavalry, and if anything dies to a Screaming Skull Catapult, they must make a panic check. This could be problematic. So we're going to make that panic check now, because it's not going to come up again. So they pass, they're fine. Finally, Incantation. I'm going to do Incantation of Urgency from the Lich Priest here, targeting the Tomb King's Jack. I'm sorry, I was supposed to roll for the power level, wasn't I? 5. Okay, I still have 4 power dice. I'm actually going to save the Dispel dice not to undo that because I am more concerned about this outcome. 5. Okay, so this lets them charge. Yeah, I'm going to try and dispel that one this turn. So 2d6 plus 1. Yep, that is dispelled. And then finally, we get to open the casket. And the casket isn't technically a incantation for him, so I don't think it works with it. Let me just see if I can have any notes here. Castle can contain with a power level 2d6. Yep, alright, so I'm going to just assume that is how that works. And they get a 7. And we're going to dispel it with our last 2 dice, and we've successfully dispelled it. So, that is a successfully stalled out Tomb King's magic phase. And now, let me see, Chariots I believe have bows on them, don't they? Yes, 1 crew member per chariot has a bow. So we can fire 1 arrow at the dwarf warriors, basically. I think these 2 can see the guy on the hill. So yep, 2 of them can fire, but the 3rd one cannot. So we'll just single roll these. Roll 1d6, hits on a 5, hits, does not wound. And then 2 attacks that hit on 5s, wound on 4s, save on 2s, go. Predictably, nothing happened. Alright, that brings us to... Oh, the Screaming Skull Catapult. My apologies. Set guess range to 28 now. Fire the Stone Thrower. Oh no, that's very bad. That landed exactly on target as well. Okay. Let's see, so... This guy takes a Strength 8 hit. He gets definitely... I'm going to say he definitely gets hit, even though he's technically partially covered, just because of how much of him is covered. But these 2 hit on 4-ups. Okay, so... 1 of them hit, and then I'm going to look out, sir, for the Quartermaster. He's fine. So this is going to be the guy in the middle. He dies. And then we have 2 others that will be killed on 3s. And, wow, 2 1s. Okay. But we still need to make another panic check. So 2d6, 4. They are fine. Alright, that brings us to the end of the first Tomb King's turn, and into the first Dogs of War turn. Okay. What do I want to do here? Okay, I think the answer is I'm going to have to just commit to the fight. So we're going to march 8 inches up to here, because I want the high ground if I can get it. Lucrezzia is going to go here. Actually, no, we're going to move her this way, because she has a horse, so she can go double time, and our wizard can't. So our little wizard can run up to here. Oh, no charges, obviously. I thought about declaring a charge with these guys. I'm not going to do that. The halflings are going to wheel, and they're probably going to have to march to do this wheel. Yep, that was definitely a marching wheel, so they can go an extra 0.5 inches forward. And so now they're in a position to actually open fire. We are going to wheel our dwarfs. That's unit 7, yep. 1.3. And then they have 4.7 left. And we kind of just want to try and wedge them in to make charging past them really hard. Because I'm fine with the dwarfs taking the charge. Next up, Volan's Venators. We're going to march straight over the hill. We're going to march Pizarros up to here. Going to wheel them around like so. And I believe that was under 8 inches. Cavalry is going to go 16 inches forward, but that puts them in the difficult terrain, so we're going to actually form ranks 3 wide instead, and scoot them over to here. And then the Birdmen of Katraza are just going to swoop right into the difficult terrain. Actually, no, we're just going to swoop right over it. We don't mind. Land there, and then we're going to be able to fire on the skeletons. Now, next up, finally, the Paymaster and Co. are going to tuck right in here, so that they can, in theory, get a flank off, which is what we are hoping for here. So we're kind of just hoping to crush the Tomb King Chariots in a pincer maneuver. of sorts. Alright, so magic phase. We have to do the roll off. Gotta remember that. 3 and 1. That means the Tomb Kings have 1, so they get +1 dispel dice. They stop with 2 normally. They have 5 dispel dice. I'm gonna write this down. 5 dispel dice versus 2, 4, 8 power dice. Okay, let's think about this real quick. What do we want to do as the Dogs of War? Shades of Death, I don't care about. Unseen Lurker is actually amazing here because we can just slam these guys in. Pit of Shades, obviously we want to drop that up here. And then Creeping Death would also be a great way to try and finish them off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and... we're gonna start off... Okay, so the Hireling Wizard doesn't need to do anything this turn. I think she's fine. So we're going to start off with a 4 dice cast. We're gonna do a 3 dice of Unseen Lurker is what we're gonna do. Do I care? Do I really care that much about trying to like hit a Creeping Death on a 6-up? No, I don't. I'm gonna try getting this through. Okay, Irresistible Force, so it goes through. So Volan's Venators move 8 inches forward, slamming into the rear, or into the flank. They don't make a fear check, I believe, because it is a compelled move. Actually, I'm going to go double check that. I shall be back momentarily once again. Alright, so it does say the normal, so a normal charge made during the movement phase, and the enemy can only respond by holding the ground. So same rules apply, so I'm going to assume that they have to make a fear check, which they have actually failed. So we're going to scoot them back then. 8 inches. I think they're about there. The unfortunate problems of not double checking your things before you move units. But that's okay, like that was worth a shot, I think. And then we're gonna do Pit of Shades with... I did 4 dice for the first one, we're gonna 4 dice this one as well. That's a 15. We're gonna try and dispel that with... do we do all 4 dice? All 5 dice? Yeah, I think we do, is the answer. And we have failed, damn. Okay, so that's going to be a Pit of Death being dropped. Actually, I can just use this one, can't I? I'm going to drop it right here. Smack bang between the 2 units. Okay, so I believe the Casket has to roll to see if it gets hit or not, which it doesn't. And then these 2 guys are definitely all the way in. These 3 are hit on a 4-up. 3 on 4s, 1 success. 3 attacks that hit on 1s will wound on 5s, because I believe these guys are 2. Tomb Guard are indeed toughness 4. Yes, they are. Okay, cool. And my notes call them Skeleton Warriors again. And then they have Flight Armor and Shields. That's a 5-up save. Go. And we have successfully killed 1 Tomb Guard. What an amazing magic phase this was. Okay, on to our shooting phase. We have the Birdmen firing at the nearest unit, which is going to be the Skeleton Warriors. So 5 of them will be hitting on 4-ups. Actually, let me check because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so 6 of them will be hitting on 4-ups, 4 of them will be hitting on 5-ups. This is just because we have some of the Birdmen are inside the ruins, and the ruins gives you -1 to hit while you're inside it. So I'm going to roll these all like this, and then I will roll them together for the attacks. 5s to hit, 2 successes. Okay, so 6 attacks, hit on 1s, wound on 4s, save on 5s, go. 2 dead Skeleton Warriors. Not bad, not great, but not bad. I mean, the plan is to just get them behind and kill the Lich Priest in the coming turns. So we are making progress towards that plan. And with that, that is the end of Dogs of War turn 1. That felt like it took a long time, but every game starts off feeling that way and then quickly escalates. Alright, so we are going into Tomb King's turn. We are going to declare a charge. I think we're going to try and crush the Dwarf Warriors. If we can kill them and break through, we just like can run amok through here. And this also will free up the other Chariots to come and like potentially fight this area. So we're going to charge the Dwarf Warriors, and that is going to be our only charge this turn. So Dwarf Warriors have to make their fear check because they have succeeded. Will these guys slam them in? I do want to try and get this as perfect as I can, because if the plan works, we'll be doing an overrun move. Alright, and then the rest of it, you guys are going to creep up to here, but they're going to stop there. Tomb Guard are going to move forward 4 inches. Yep. Skeleton Warriors are actually going to about face. And face this way. And then we're actually just going to hold them right there for the moment. They're basically just sort of soft screening for the cavalry is what's going on here. And then that's all our movement for the Tomb Kings. So that brings us to Magic Phase. Okay, so first things first, Tomb Guard. They get a regain guy. I don't need to roll it because obviously I know that they will get back the one guy who died. Do I want to try and contest this? Oh. Special effects, of course. Unstable magic. Need to remember that. Tomb Kings, Dogs of War. Okay, Tomb Kings get +1 this time. Dogs of War only have 5 Dispel dice to work with. Do I want to commit any of these 5 Dispel dice to stopping this? I think the answer is still no. I think at this point in time we have a lot of things that can see the casket. In fact, most of the army can see it, so that's actually a real big problem. So we kind of need to save like 3 dice for that. So yeah, we're going to let these guys come back. State, not dead. This is unit 4, wheel. There we go, he's back. Next on the list is the Icon Bearer. He doesn't have anything. And then it is our Tomb King. So we are going to go ahead and activate Righteous Smiting, and I'm going to try and hit the dwarfs with him. I don't believe that this does combat resolution or anything. No combat resolution can cause panic. Okay, cool, fantastic. So yeah, he's going to target himself with that. Roll 1d6, a 6. I know he can do it again, but like I kind of think I have to take it and hope for the best. So it's going to be 4 attacks. We'll hit on 3s, we'll wound on 3s because they're toughness 4, and these guys have heavy armor, light, so heavy armor, shields, hand weapons, so 5 up, 3 up, 4 up, 3 up, 3 ups become 5 ups, go, 2 dead dwarfs, and then we have the Icon Bearer. Icon Bearer has the Killing Blow special, so I have to slow roll these. He has 4 attacks. No, he doesn't. He is... I have lied. I've given him the wrong information. Let me quickly fix that. Alright, I am back. So he only has 2 attacks and he hits on 4s. So he gets 1 success. Does he wound? He does not wound. Okay. And then we have the champion. He makes 2 attacks. We'll hit on 4s, we'll wound on 5s, we'll save on 3s, go. Nothing. And then we have a bunch of horses. So we have 6 horses. Hit on 4s, wound on 5s, save on 3s, go. Nothing. Okay. Then he gets to do it again. So we're just going to do the exact same thing. Yep, that's 4 power dice. I don't really want to consume power dice if I can help it. Or dispel dice, I should say. Like, what's next? Screaming Skull Catapult's gonna fire again. It can probably hit the pikeman this time. And I just let them tune it to be spot on next time. The Casket will absolutely devastate me if I'm not careful. I think I just have to tank it. So yeah, tank it I shall. Okay, so that's gonna cause panic. Let's see how the next one does. Keeping in mind this doesn't cause, this isn't a fight, this is just like damage. So it's okay that we're taking this. So yeah, we're gonna take these. Threes, fives, go. Nothing. And then I believe everyone else was actually the same stuff. So it's gonna be 10 attacks. I'm gonna double check that real quick. I literally have them written down here. Oh, that's right. I have to do the icon bearer separately, but everything else can be done together. 8 attacks, hit on 4s, save on 5s, wound on 5s, save on 3s. 2 more dead dwarfs. And nothing from him. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Next on the magic phase is this guy. He gets 2 dice. 7. Do I want to try and dispel him? I think the answer is yes, I do. I'm going to do 2 dice at it. I'll use a +1. And we have successfully dispelled that. Fantastic. And then finally the Lich Priest. Oh, fuck, I forgot about the Stuffer for Fiending, but that's right, there's nothing in range for either turn, so we're fine. And then we're going to use Incantation of Vengeance, and we're going to target Volan's Venators. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let me just get that fixed. Alright, so Volan's Venators being targeted, 2d6 + 1. I'll just roll that. 4. I'm not going to risk it. I'm still going to take the strength 4 hits. I think we're more likely to survive that than we are to survive a really good hit from the Casket. And these guys are still like really tough. Yeah, they're totally fine. See, we're good, we're good. So Casket, let's go. Cast with a 10. We have to put our last 3 dispel dice into it. And it is dispelled. Okay. I know that this sounds really anticlimactic, but I genuinely feel like if it goes off, like the entire army just potentially, not the entire army, but a lot of the army just dies for the dwarf. Not for the dwarfs, for the Dogs of War. Goodness, I cannot speak correctly today. And all of you who watch these videos go, yeah, what's new? We know you can't speak. So that is 3 hits from him. And then, 3 hits from the Tomb King. And then 4 from the rest of the unit. Alright, so that's going to be, actually, I'm going to double check that there isn't anything about having a second rank that gives you bonuses to the hits. I don't think there is, but Chariots are weird, so... nope, doesn't look like there's anything special about second ranks, so... Fantastic, that's going to be 7 automatic hits at strength 4, I believe. Yes, strength 4. Okay, so 1s, 4s, let's go. 1 dead dwarf. Now we have the actual attacks from the king. 3s to wound, 5s to save, go. 1 more dead. And this unfortunately doubles the penalty if they lose the combat, which is hugely important. Then we get 2 attacks from Icon Bearer, nothing there, and then 8 from the rest. So that's going to be 4s, 5s, 3s, go. 1 extra dead dwarf. Okay, we're going to put the wounds into... we're going to put them into the Icon Bearer, I think. Do I want to do that? I don't want to just put them into the chariot. I think I'm just going to put them into the chariot, actually. So that's going to be 2 attacks. The hit on 3s. The wound on 4s. Is that correct? No, the wound on 5s. But save on 5s, so there's not a ton. Alright, so 1 wound inflicted. That's actually pretty impactful. So it is combat resolution time for this one. So they've got 1 rank. This is 18 unit strength. Oh, this is bad. So 1 rank, that's 1. They have a banner, that's 2. They outnumber, that's 3. They killed 3 dwarfs, that's 6. Dwarfs still 1, 5. 1 rank, 2 ranks, 5, 4, 3. Yep, they still lose, so they are fleeing. And they are being pursued. Only 9 inches, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, but they broke from combat, so we do have to check for panic on Volan's Venators. Here's this one, 10. Yep, so they do panic. That tracks. Volan's Venators are not the bravest of souls, or at least they're not the most honorable of souls, shall we say. I'm going to send them fleeing this way. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Okay, so these guys... Oh, wait, okay, so yeah, these guys flee the full 10 inches. These guys pursue 9 inches. But then real quick, I need to check. Yep, they're within 8 inches of Lucrezzia, so they immediately rally. So that's good. And then that brings us to the Dogs of War turn. Okay, let's think about this real quick. What is going to happen here? I don't think I want to use the banner yet for the Icon Bearer. I think we keep that in reserve for at least 1 more turn. So that brings us to our charges to declare. Do I want to declare any charges here? I cannot believe I am genuinely considering this, but I think the dwarfs going into the chariots makes a lot of sense. I think if we neuter the ability for the chariots to impact hit us, we do a lot of extra damage. So I think that's what we do, and then I think we might actually want to charge Pizarro's Legion into the flank for that extra bonus. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're doing 2 charges. So, dwarfs, fear check. I believe they are leadership 9 off the top of my head. I can double check that real quick. Where are the dwarfs? Yep, dwarfs in leadership 9. They're fine. Pizarro. Nope, he's not going in. That is so painful for us. The man said no, but maybe there's hope. So Volan's Venators get to try and rally. They have succeeded, so they're good. The rest of the movement phase, we're actually just going to wheel these guys backwards a bit. Alright, so they need to form ranks. I'm going to wheel them like backwards to like here. So we're basically just trying to sort of get them, actually. We're going to wheel them even further backwards to like here. So basically just trying to get them out of line of sight of these chariots so that they can also then get into the rear or the flank if needed. Our halflings have a bit of line of sight to here, so we're just going to keep them there. The birdmen. The birdmen are beginning their daring mission. Did I remember to shoot him? I forgot to shoot him. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm not going back and fixing that, because I feel like it is a little bit cheating at this point in time. So we're going to move these guys, all these girls I should say, 8 inches up to here. Form ranks 6 wide, wheel them. And they're just going to have a line of fire at the Tomb King skeletons. These guys, they're just chilling. Actually, they're not chilling. They're moving up to the very edge so that they can get their bonus. And that is the end of my movement phase. So that brings us to the magic phase. Let us start with another pit. And we are going to just 3 dice to the pit today. Oh, wait, first I need to check who gets the benefit. This is Tomb Kings. This is, okay, so we get an extra power dice. That's huge. That is 9 power dice versus just 4 dispel dice. We might have a chance of doing this. So we're going to 3 dice to the pit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with that. And we have miscast horrendously with a 6. What does a 6 do? Please, I am begging you, not something horrendous. The caster loses control of his spell and struggles to keep the magical energies in check. He cannot cast any more spells in this magic phase. Damn. So that means that... What else was I going to do with this one? Well, probably Creeping Death, honestly. Or Unseen Lurker to try and push these... No, I probably would have just Creeping Death. Okay, so now we're going to do Blinding Light. 3 dice. Or Dazzling Brightness, hitting the Chariots. And even with 3 dice, we still haven't cast it. That is abysmal. What on earth is going on here? Alright, shooting phase. We will start with our halflings. We're going to be shooting at this unit of Chariots, and we can see them with... Okay, actually... All of them can see. All of them are at long range. So that's going to be 10 attacks that hit on 4s, that will wound on 5s and save on 5s. Go. 1 wound. So a rear chariot gets wounded. Fantastic. Next up, the birdmen are going to fire at the Lich Priest. So that's going to be 9 attacks that hit on 4s. 1 hit. 1 attack that hits on 3s, but that misses. Okay, so 4 successful hits. So this is treated as a war machine, I believe. I apologize that I have to frequently keep double checking my rules. This is what happens when I play factions I don't know very well. Okay, any hits that strike the casket itself are ignored. Hits on the crew are randomized between the caskets to guard on any associated Lich Priests or Lich High Priests. Alright, so that is going to be rolling attacks. Okay, actually, hang on. 4 attacks that succeed on 5s. 3 of them have hit. So, on a 5 up, we hit the Lich Priest. No. Okay, so I'm going to slow roll these actually, because if we kill both of the casket guards somehow. So we wound on a 5. Nope. Okay, doesn't matter anymore. 2 attacks hit on 5s. 1 success, and then armor save. 1. Okay, so one of the 2 casket guard have died. So we're going to mark that as a mount wound. And then we've done that. These girls. So they are at short range. Yep. Short range. Ballistic skill 3, I believe. Yeah, ballistic skill 3. So that's going to be, but they did move, so that's going to be 5s to hit, 4s to wound, 5s to save, 1 dead skeleton warrior. Alright, and that brings us finally to the combat phase. So, dwarfs, we have 5 attacks. We're putting them all into... Actually, I'm going to check this, the rolls real quick on characters in Chariots, and then find out how putting the attacks into Icon Bearer goes. Okay, so I have done a quick bit of research. Yes, I can just pick to target the Icon Bearer himself, which is what I'm going to do because I'm fishing for the easiest hits possible. This is 3 attacks, so we'll hit on 3s because they are... No, hit on 4s. The effect didn't... Actually, wait, is that 3s? What is his weapon skill? He is 4, so yep, hits on 4s. We'll wound on 5s, but we'll save on 6s, so there's a decent chance. And that is a dead Icon Bearer. So that's actually technically overkill. I'm not going to try and like work out where to put the overkill wound. I'm just going to count it for like wound combat resolution basically. So our last two guys, they're putting their attacks into the remaining chariot, which will save wound on 5, save on 5s, nothing. Okay, so then, because he replaces the crew, I believe the crew, the chariot just dies with him. So, Tomb King attacks. 3 attacks. That will hit on 3s, will wound on 3s, will save on 5s, go. 1 wound. That is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. And then 5 attacks actually from these guys. 5 attacks. Will hit on 4s, will wound on 5s, and save on 3s. So I was actually missing 1 attack last time, but that's okay. Okay, combat resolution. These guys have... Unit strength is actually reduced now to 15, but still more, so that's an outnumber. 1 rank each, 1 wound, 1 extra wound. I think that's a tie, which is actually really good for the dwarfs. So, and let me pull this guy into the middle now. Let me delete this boy before I do anything else. Okay, and that is going to be the end of Dogs of War Turn 2. Alright. So then, how do we do this? Alright, so we're going to just commit Tomb King Chariots into the pikemen. I think we were in range. I'm going to roll and measure this. Yeah, with... I don't think the wheel is going to take that much out of me. Yep, no, it's totally fine. They are super in, so let's go ahead and fear check. They're fine. Whoops, I forgot one, but like whatever. He'll get here when we wheel them back in. Wheel them in. Face the correct way, please, sir. And in we go. Now this is going to be an interesting fight when we get to it. Next up, Tomb Guard, just going to push forward 4 more inches. And then these guys are going to reform, or move back this way and then like 2 inches forward. Okay. That, I think, is everything I want to move. So that brings us to magic. First things first, they don't have anything here. There's no icon bearer left. Next up we have... Actually, wait. I'm going to break the Lich Priest from the unit. He's going to move 4 inches. I think actually because he's an independent character, he doesn't march, he just double moves. And so we're going to move him down there. And we're risking exposing him to Halfling Fire, but like I want to kill these Halflings. I want to do things with him. So then that's Tomb Kings. So he's going to activate this one. And I'm so tempted to just tank the casket, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so he is power level 6. Okay, I think we're just going to have to tank a lot of hits on dwarfs. But that's okay. 4 attacks on 3s, wound on 3s, save on 5s, go. 2 more dead dwarfs. It's probably approaching the point where we're doing enough damage to, what's it called again? Panic them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what? 6 from the horses. 8, 10, 11 attacks total. 11 attacks that hit on 4s, will wound on 5s, and save on 3s. Alright, that is really unfortunate because that is indeed enough to trigger a panic check. So we're going to find out if they flee. Yep, they are fleeing 4 inches. Alright, so I think... Whoops. Let me correctly control them. I apologize that I keep bumping that up by accident. Okay, and then we're going to Incantation of Urgency on them to try and push forward. That's a success. Do I want to counterspell that? I don't think I do, because I'm more worried still about the Screaming Skull Catapult. So we're just going to let this happen. These guys are going to charge. The dwarfs are going to be forced to flee. They're going to go 6 inches off the board. These guys are going to charge 8 inches forward and stop here. I think this is going to trigger a panic check for these guys. I'm going to double check that. Do I actually think that causes a panic check? No, actually I don't think it does. Because they're not destroyed by a charging unit. They're not caught by a charging unit. Let me actually double check this real quick. I can really quickly look at the panic things. Fleeing from the unit is start of turn. Breaks from close combat or are destroyed within 6 inches. Fleeing friends are destroyed by charges who are within 4 inches. They weren't really destroyed, they were just pushed off the board. Yeah, that's not going to cause panic. That's totally fine. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have this guy, this Lich Priest here. So he is going to start off with Incantation of Righteous Smiting on this one with 2d6. So 4. We're going to throw... Okay, oh, crap, I forgot to do my... This is the... Okay, so they get +1 dice on this guy's incantation. Righteous Smiting, it's a 4. I only have 5 dispel dice this game, or this turn. Do I want to use 2 of them on this? What else am I going to use them on? The Staff of Ravening is probably going to do about as much damage as a catapult could do. Honestly, I'm going to throw 1 dice at it and hope. And I failed, but that's okay. So this guy gets to shoot. We're going to point him here. You're going to have to set his guess range. I'm going to guess 36, and we're going to fire him. Alright, so that's where he guessed. This is where he lands. Oh yeah, this is the first time that he's gone off target, so you actually get to see that for the first time. And he missed, but that's okay. I was pretty close on my guess, actually. And then we're going to use Staff of Ravening. I have 5 dice. I'm going to spend 1 more to try and counterspell this. I've succeeded, so there's no damage to my halflings. Then we're going to do this guy. He is going to do the Incantation of Urgency on the Tomb Guard with 3 dice. 15, I'm not going to try and contest that, obviously. So these guys go 4 inches forward. And they're getting dangerously close to being able to charge at Pizarro's Lost Legion. Oh, that was, did I call that end of turn? No, I didn't. So that was end of turn 3. Was that turn 3? Okay. Turn 1 of Tomb Kings, they were here. Turn 2, they were here. Turn 3, yep, okay. No, that was end of turn 2, I think. I will work this out in a minute. No, that was definitely, yep, turn 2, sorry. Okay, then finally we have the Lich Priest opening the casket. That's a 10. We have 3 dice remaining. We're going to dispel that. And we have failed. Oh no. Okay, so let's go through this in order. Who can see the casket? Not these guys. Can Volan's Venators see it? Yes, they can. So can Pizarro's. So can Lucrezzia. The halflings, shockingly, actually, wait, can they see it? Yeah, they can barely see it. And of course, so can those, and so can these girls. Okay, so basically everything can see it. So I'm going to start with Lucrezzia. This is the real danger one. 8. What is her leadership? I think it might be 8. I think she's okay. She's okay, folks. Hallelujah. Pizarro is next. Okay, they are not okay. They are losing. 8 minus 13 is... or 13 minus 8, that's 5. So they are losing an entire rank off the back. Volan's Venators. 8. I think they are also leadership 8, so they should be fine. Yep, they're good. Halflings. They are also leadership 8. They are fine. Light cavalry, leadership 7 here. And that's going to be 2 dead cavalry. 2 dead cavalry, not 2 fanatic cavalry. And then finally, the birdmen. Birdmen are also leadership 8. So they are fine. That went way better for everyone than I expected it to. I'd say I could have been tanking this from the beginning, but no, I really did not want to be tanking this from the beginning. Alright, so that brings me to the shooting phase. We are going to fire our Screaming Skull Catapult again. That is the only thing that has an ability to shoot today. So we're going to guess 38 inches this time, and we're going to fire that Stone Thrower. And it goes a little bit off course, but not that bad. Halo, no. Light sources, auras, 1.5 inches. So it only hits one guy, actually. That's not good, but that's not terrible. And it does kill him, so... there we go, 1 dead man from the back. And they do have to take a panic check. Oh, they needed to take one previously as well. So they get 2, and then they flee 11 inches. Okay. So the previous one was because they lost 10 people in a single turn. For those who are wondering why that happened. Alright, so that brings us to close combat. So we have this one right here. So what happens is we're going to do impact hits, then pikemen get to strike first. These are cavalry units, so they strike with +1 strength. And then we do the fighting back from the skeletons. So 5 hits. That will be strength 4 into just regular pikemen, no armor, I believe. Oh, nope, heavy armor. Okay, so 5 hits, wound on 3s. 3s that save on 6s. Nothing. Okay, 3 dead pikemen. And then that creates, what, 18 attacks back? No, 17 attacks back. 3s to hit. Is that right? I'm pretty sure it's right. Let me double check that. Pikemen, weapon skill 3 actually, and I believe the Chariots are also weapon skill 3. Yep, the crew is weapon skill 3, so that's going to be 4s to hit. But it is going to be 4s to wound and 6s to save. 6 wounds. Okay, so they have killed 2 Chariots at the back. And only this Chariot remains. So that's 5 attacks. Hit on 4s, wound on 4s, save on 5s, go. Nothing. Okay, so it's the only combat in this game, right? So let's do some combat resolution. High ground. 1, 2, 3 ranks. 17 unit strength versus 12 unit strength, so they outnumber. So it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1 because of a rank. So 4, banner 3, 3 died here, 6 died here, so we add back 3 basically. Wait, I've confused myself, goodness. Okay, 6 died versus 3, so we're up 3 points on this side. And then we add an extra 5, and we take away 2. So we add an extra 3, so we have 6. So what happens here is these guys have 1 wound remaining, and these 2 units just died, and that is huge swing for Dogs of War, I feel like, because that basically means that if we can crush this unit, completely next turn, and this one is kind of just hung out to dry for the moment. So that brings us to Dog support turn 3. Let's start off by trying to rally Pizarro. Yep, he has rallied. I'm going to just wheel him like so. Wheel, kill you. Back to there. Perfect. Charges. Volan's Venators are going straight for the Tomb Guard. The Paymaster is going into here. So this is going to be Volan's fear check, passes, Paymaster fails. So Voland, straightforward. Into the front. Okay, not ideal, but we'll make it work. I was really hoping for the flank attack on the other guys, but that's okay. And then, obviously, Birdmen are charging the Casket. Oh, it causes terror, doesn't it? So actually they would flee straight off the board. Whoops. That's okay. That's fine. We didn't need them. Alright, so new plan. Our light cavalry is going to trot around here, and we're just going to try and get them set up to go and hit the Casket themselves. Lucrezzia is going to go back here, where she can't see anything. And that is the end of my movement phase for our Dogs of War. So that brings me to magic. Let's do roll off Tomb Kings and Dogs of War. Dogs of War get a power dice. That's going to be power dice 9. Alright. With the 9 power dice, we're just going to try and full send it. We're going to try and Pit of Darkness again. Or Pit of Shades, I should say. I want them dead. I want him gone. And we failed. That's unfortunate. Next up, what other spell do I want to cast with her? What other spell can I cast with her, realistically? I could try and Unseen Lurker these guys in again. That's not a bad idea. I could Unseen Lurker them at these guys. Oh no, I can only go up to 8 inches. That's unfortunate. I could Creeping Death the Chariot. Alright, I'm going to start by Dazzling Brightnessing the Chariot here, just to sort of make this easier for us. Success. Okay, with 4 Dispel Dice for the Tomb Kings. Do I want to try and dispel that? Or do I want to save it for Creeping Death? I think I want to save it for Creeping Death. So we're going to try and Creeping Death now. 14, and we're going to throw all 4 Dispel Dice at it. And we have failed. Unfortunate. 6 Strength 3 hits into this unit, with no armor saves allowed. So that's going to be wounds on 5s. I'll wound. I'll take it. That's 1 extra wound. And then that brings me to my shooting phase. So, oh wait, I could have used it to charge these. That's fine. Whatever, I don't care. Okay, halflings are going to open fire. They can all see him. They're all in range. 5s to hit. So 10 shots, 5s to hit. 4s to wound, I believe. Yep, 4s to wound. No armor save. Let's go. And he's dead. Well, that's a little anticlimactic of an ending, but it is what it is. And then these guys. 4 attacks. We're still in short range, so we're going to hit on 5s. 4 attacks, hit on 5s, wound on 4s, save on 5s, go, nothing. Expected outcomes, honestly. That's fine. Pull the Lich Priest. Combat! Let's start with Voland's Venators. So, Voland himself, I believe, is a little tougher than the rest, but I could be mistaken. Yes, he is Weapon Skill 5, up from Weapon Skill 4. Versus, it doesn't matter, they all hit the same. So he has 3 attacks, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks. That will hit on 3s, will wound on 2s, against this armor that is actually no armor. 3 Dead Tomb Guard. Nice, that's really good for us. And then we have 5 horse attacks that will hit on 4s, wound on 5s, save on 5s, nothing. Okay, Tomb Guard, 2 attacks back. 2 attacks hit on 4s, 1 success. Rolling to wound. I forgot about that. I forget about this every time. 4, that's a success. And then we roll for our save. Saved. Okay, so we'll come back to that one. Back over here. Pikemen, initiative 3. The Chariots, initiative 2, so they're going to hit first. We would actually slide these guys over a little bit. So it's going to be 17 attacks. We'll hit on 4s. Did we? No, we passed the, we did apply the spell. Okay, they'll hit on 3s. They will wound on 5s this time and save on 5s. Go. Alright, so dead, this guy. 1 onto the champion. Then the champion gets to attack back. And he has, what is it? It is 3, 4, 5 attacks. They'll hit on 5s. They will wound on 4s and will save on 5s. Go. 1 dead pikeman. Okay. Combat resolution. They're dead. It doesn't matter. I don't need to do it. So they're fine. Combat resolution over here. 1, 2, 3. They outnumber. That is actually going to be enough to send Bolan's Venators fleeing. They go 13 inches. They get pursued 6. So they go 13 inches back. And that's actually going to kill them because they go into that unit. It's really unfortunate for me, but like whatever. And then these guys go 6 inches forward. Alright, so that is end of Dogs of War turn 3. And this game is going kind of slow, but it's picking up the pace. We're starting to get there. Okay, so we're not even going to actually, we're gonna do something very cheeky. We're gonna do 8 inches out from you. Set your facing and remove you from the unit. And then, I think you are not actually the correct leader, so we're going to make you the leader now. And then we're going to go form ranks, 4 wide, wheel, 2, yeah. And then wheel you in, perfect. And we're just going to sort of put these guys here. And that's just going to be my reform. We're just going to break the Tomb King out so he can threaten Lucrezzia, and these guys can hit these guys. That's the extent of the plan here. I'm gonna wheel our Tomb Guard 4 inches around. I'm not deleting these guys because they'll probably come back. And then we're gonna push them 2.5 forward. Oh no, 1.5 forward. I'm thinking about elves, I think, is what I'm thinking here. Okay, so that's gonna be, what are we gonna do with these guys? Wheel them like so. And since they went in a little bit, I'm just gonna call that their movement for the turn. Okay, so then, magic phase. We're gonna roll off again. This roll off every single turn is kind of annoying, honestly. I'm not sure I like it. My will be done, no. First off, these guys, they get 1d6 units back. They get 1 guy back. I'm literally just gonna put him back in manually. There we go, good enough. As soon as I wheel them, they'll be back, so it's fine. Next up is my will be done, I believe. Yep, my will be done. So we're gonna hit these guys with it first. 2, I'm gonna go ahead and dispel that with 1 dice. Yep, that's dispelled. And now he has a second My Will Be Done. He really wants to hit Lucretia, so he's going to have to target himself with it. And I'm going to spend 2 more of my 5 dice on dispelling this one, which is dispelled. So the reason we're doing this is because I know that all that's left is this guy and the casket. I'm not really worried about his magic missiles. And I can try and just 2 dice the casket if need be. And hope. I think that's better than letting the charges happen. So we're going to try and hit... We can't hit anything. So we can't do that. And then we're going to attempt to open the casket. That's a 9, and we're going to try and dispel that, and we have successfully dispelled it. Never punished. Okay, so next up, that leaves us with the Screaming Skull Catapult. He's going to attempt to fire at the Pizarro's Legion again, because if we can hit them, then we can do some pretty big damage. So I'm going to guess 44, and fire the Stone Thrower. And we missed completely. The good news is that even if we hit, we would have missed completely with the way it has moved. That has barely tapped the base, so I'm going to check it. Nope, doesn't hit that. Okay, cool. Lucky. And then there is no combat, so that is the end of the Tomb King's turn. And that brings us to... Dogs of War turn 4. Okay, charges. If we put Pizarro's Lost Legion in, that's risky. But is it worth it? I think... No, I think I'd rather just shoot at them and hope for the best there. Okay, so... Charges. Paymaster and Co. charging the Tomb Guard. That's going to be the extent of it. Let's see if we get there. 10. No. These guys are cowards. Okay, rest of the movement. Halflings are going to unwheel themselves. So let me go ahead and just mark this spot right here. So 5.5. We're going to go 1.5 forward. The Light Wizard is going to move over here because she doesn't actually need to be in range for the fight. Lucretia is also going to move down to here, and then she's going to pointedly face this way. These guys are going to about face. Delete these guys and then move 3 inches this way. We're basically just making sure that when the Tomb King charges, he has to charge the pikemen. These girls aren't going to move. I'm just accepting that the Lich Priest is either going to die to Lucretia, or he's not going to die at... no, actually, screw it. YOLO strats, right? So we can move them like this, and then... I'm just line of sight checking, so I'm going to move it so far I can't. There we go. Yep, okay, so they can all see him. So that's fine. That's going to be the end of the movement part of this turn. So, next up, magic. Okay, we're going to try and... Well, first things first, once again. Let's Tomb Kings and... Dogs of War, so Tomb Kings get an extra dispel dice. So they have 4 dispel dice right now versus 8 power dice. Once again, we're going to Pit of Shades. We're going to 4 dice it. I'm not taking any chances today. 16. As the Tomb Kings player, I want to try and dispel that one more than I do anything else. So I'm going to put all 4 dispel dice into it. 16, it is dispelled. Then I am going to... Oh, I could just charge the pikemen at the Tomb Prince. That would be amazing. Or I could put them on the high ground and make him charge into me, get the strength bonus. try and break the chariot. I think I really like the strength bonus more. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and try and cast with 3 dice. We'll do 4 dice. The movement spell, and it worked. So we go forward a little bit. We wheel a little bit. And we just sort of occupy the high ground like this. Actually, I think it'd be more accurate to wheel them like so. And then put them back up to there. Perfect. Alright, and that's the magic phase. Shooting. Pizarro's Lost Legion has some shots to make. So Pizarro has, I believe, a higher ballistic skill than the rest. Yep, so he hits on a 2-up, which he hits. The others hit on a 4-up. So we have 2 hits. 2 attacks, hit on 1s, wound on 4s, save on 6s, go. 1 extra wound inflicted. So that's actually a pretty big deal, because that means that on the charge, if they get a single kill in the stand and shoot, that's huge. And then these guys are going to all fire at the casket. They're at long range, and they've moved, so that's going to be 4s, 5s, 6s, but look, we're gambling here today. Nothing. Alright, that is end of Dogs of War turn 4. Is that turn 4? Pretty sure it is. Yes, end of Dogs of War turn 4. Okay, turn 5. We're going to make these charges because we kind of have to. This game is really silly looking, isn't it? Okay, so fear checks. So we're going to start with Pizarro. He's fine. Or Perazzo, I believe it is. No, Pizarro. Okay. So everything goes in. So we slam in. We slam in. These guys were too close to stand and shoot. Actually, I didn't even think about that, but that's okay. The rest of my movement phase is going to be my skeleton warriors will continue their attempts to... Which way do they go? They face down, don't they? So I'm going to just continue wheeling my skeletons around to try and catch these dastardly light cavalry and continue failing, but like that's to be expected. And then these guys are going to move 4 inches forward. And then we're going to hope and pray that we can try and get a good incantation off to like pull them into this combat. I think actually that's kind of what I want to do. I don't like my odds of the Tomb Prince successfully killing enough pikemen to change the outcome. But I could be wrong. Okay, decision making time. Unfortunately, I'm at the time to make that decision. Well, first I have to actually determine who gets the power dice. And it is going to be a dispel dice for the Dogs of War. It brings them up to 6 dispel dice. That's painful. Okay, especially with the dwindling number of warriors I have at my disposal. I'm going to try and my will be done move the Tomb Guard with a 1. Yeah, I'm going to try and dispel that on the Dogs of War side and succeed. Knowing that this one's dispelled, I'm going to try and just hit them now. So I'm going to get a 4 for that. I'm going to toss another dispel dice at it because I have... Do I even care about the casket opening? Like, what, 2 units are being affected by this? I don't think I care that much, actually. So yeah, I'm just gonna want to dispel this. Okay, so that is no power from that. Lich Priest gets to try and... We're gonna try and charge these guys at these girls. So 2d6, that's a 6. Okay, I have 4 dice left. I maintain I just don't think I care about the casket enough to warrant doing anything about it. So I'm going to dispel that one. And then finally the Casket gets a 2, and we have dispelled it. So we have just completely shut the Tomb Kings out of the magic phase this game. That's insane. So, well, not this game, but this turn. So we've got impact hits over here. Seven impact hits, all going into the Lost Legion. The Lost Legion has light armor, so we actually only need to score 3s to kill them, and we've successfully killed 4. Then the Lost Legion fights back. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys hitting with pikes. Actually, they don't have pikes, do they? No. So what's actually happening is... So, okay, the guys in the front row actually don't have... the ones who died, so they do actually hit first. So it's going to be 4s, that's going to be 6s. Go. So killed this guy and wounded this one. But then Pizarro won't fight until after the rest has happened. So that's going to be... Do I want to hit Pizarro then? The short answer is no, because I just want to kill as many chaff as I can to send them fleeing, even though I know Pizarro can strike back. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 attacks. That'll hit on 4s, we'll wound on 4s, we'll save on 6s. Go. 2 more dead legionnaires. Pizarro, he gets 3 attacks. He gets 3 attacks. Actually, no, this isn't a chariot, doesn't matter. 3 attacks. He hits on 3s, he wounds on 4s, they save on 6s. Go. Nothing. We'll come back to this one. Up here, we have the Tomb King. He gets 1d6 impact hits. He gets 1 impact hit. Oh no. It wounds. It doesn't save, so that's 1 dead pikeman. And then, I think we're just going to put it all into... Okay. Actually, let me check what he has. Because he has... the Golden Eye of Ra, which gives his Chariots a 5 upward save. But he doesn't have that much guard defense himself. He only has a light armor and a shield. With a Chariot, that brings him to a 4-up save. I think we just hit him, don't we? Or do we hit the Chariot? Okay, let's think about this. He has 4 attacks, right? The most he can do in combat res is 5. Most he can kill is 6. So we actually do have the numbers right now. So we have 1, 2... We have 5 combat res. He physically can't beat us on combat res. The best he can do is tie. So we target the Chariot to try and like rip it out from under him, basically. Is my thinking. Okay, 4 wounds inflicted, but there's a 5 upward save on them. Okay, so the Chariot is dead. So I don't actually have a follow-up for this, so we're going to have to put him down to like this size, basically. And just trust me that this makes sense. So that is 3 wounds scored, and then he fights back. He gets 4 attacks. He hits on 3s, he wounds on 2s, they save on 7s. Go. 3 dead. Okay, combat resolution time. Over here, we had 2 ranks. We are outnumbered, though. There isn't a banner bearer in this line, but I believe there is supposed to be a banner bearer in that unit. Yep, there's a standard bearer here, so that ties out. Okay, so 1, 2. We did 2 wounds, so that's 4. They outnumber us, so that's down to 3, and then they did... 6? Yeah, that's going to be a loss. Okay, so they auto break and they get pursued 12 inches, so they're just dead. Alright, so let me go ahead and wheel this guy in. Whoops, sorry, wrong one. 3 wide, wheel them, and then they're going 12 inches this way. Meanwhile, over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, minus 4, 4, lose by 4. He just dies. Nice, he's dead. And then that is going to be a leadership test for the unit. Yep, they pass it. They don't even suffer from the curse. Nice. Whoops. That was number 9, wasn't it? Perfect. Okay, so that was a Tomb King's turn. Yes, that was Tomb King's turn 5. Dogs of War turn 5. Okay. If we could kill the Hierophant, we would win this game. These girls can see him, but they aren't in terror range, so we are going to declare a charge. We're just going to fucking go for it. 2d6, they are fine. They are in. The heavy cavalry, they're going to declare a charge at the Tomb Guard. Please, I am begging you, do something. You have done something, finally. They're not even in range. That's hilarious. So they just go 8 inches forward. No, 7 inches forward. That's right, they have parting. That is ridiculous. They spent that whole game doing nothing. So this is just going to be a slam into here. Wheel you 5. I don't think they have has a rear. I hope it doesn't have a rear for the sake of the Tomb Kings here. Okay, and then the pikemen are going to about face. Wheel. I can't really move them, I don't think, as part of that, so I'm just going to leave them there. They're not going to get the high ground, that's totally fine. Okay. Rest of my movement. Lucrezzia, she's going to go 16 inches this way. I'm going to go 8 inches this way. I really want to curse the casket. I want the casket to not work. I think that's really funny. The halflings are going... Halflings are going to keep pushing, actually, because the halflings... Because here's the thing, we're on turn 5. We have to start thinking about victory conditions. These guys are holding a table edge. These guys are holding a table edge. We only really have 1 table quarter. If we push these guys up, if we kill this, then we can like hold 2 table quarters. If we can contest this one, if we kill the Lich Priest, then we can win this. The table quarters victory points. Okay, so magic phase. First off, we roll for who gets the dice. It is going to be the Tomb Kings. They get 4 dispel dice versus 8 power dice. Where do I put my damn pit? Do I even put my damn pit down? I think the answer is... I think we start off with Unseen Lurker onto our... Yep, they're going to move forward. Okay. Do I want to try and dispel this as the Tomb Kings? Do I actually think it's worth it? I think the answer is yes, I do. Like, genuinely. It doesn't work. Okay, whatever. So these guys get to move forward to here. And then we're going to do the Dazzling Brightness onto... I hope they're in range, actually. I didn't even check the range. I just assumed. Yep, he's in range. So, Dazzling Brightness on the casket. Oh, feck, I just realized that I completely forgot that we get a -1 on our casting because of the casket. Whoopsie daisy. Oh well, my apologies. Mistakes get made in every single game. It's just part of playing Warhammer. Okay, so we have the Dazzling Brightness has gone off, and then finally, I'm literally just going to try and 1 dice. Actually, no, I can't 1 dice Creeping Death because we have the penalty, which I'm going to start applying now. So, since we can't cast that, that's going to be the end of this phase. There is no shooting because we moved these guys. So, we're going straight into the combat. Alright, so because they charge, they go first. The enemy hits on 1s. We are hitting the Lich Priest. Everyone is hitting the Lich Priest. I just want him dead. So, we're going to make 4 attacks. Hit on 3s. The wound on 4s. No, we're going to make 8 attacks to do this. Save on 7s. Go. He is dead. There was a single rolled save of a 6 and a 3. I'm not going to pass this. He's just dead. I'm declaring that now. I know there's technically a casket guard still alive. Oh, I forgot to regenerate my tomb guard. I'm going to quickly do that now, actually. Tomb guard, yep, they're back. State, not dead. Unit 4 wheel. And these guys are like, I think, yep, perfect. Okay. Someone's dead. When the Hierophant dies, units make an immediate leadership test, and then at the start of every friendly turn. So let's start with the Casket Guard himself. Let's see if he survives. He survives. Good job. Next up we have the Skeleton Warriors. 9. That's going to be 6 crumbling skeletons. Alright, so these guys die. Thankfully for the Tomb Kings, this is like the second. They're about to be on their last turn, so they're not in concern. Screaming Skull Catapult. Yep, that's gone. Did I do the Tomb Guard? No, I haven't done the Tomb Guard yet. Because I did this guy, these. Okay, Tomb Guard. 10, they lose 2. Yep. So Tomb Guard are actually pretty good about this. That's nice for them. Alright, and that is going to be the end of turn 5. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and... No, I'm not going to go ahead and overrun these goals because, actually, what we're going to do... Undead him. Wounds, 2 wounds. He is dead, but there's still a Casket Guard. Okay, end of turn 5. How long has this game been going, actually? Let me check. Oh, only an hour and a half. Not bad. I genuinely thought it was going to be longer at this point. Okay, leadership tests. Casket Guard. He dies. Casket is gone. Skeletons. 8. That's going to be, what, 5 more dead? Yep, 5 more dead. Chariots. 8. That is... They only have 7 wounds, so one of them takes a wound. Or 7 leadership, I should say. Tomb Guard. 8. Yep, they're fine. Okay, magic phase, or movement phase, sorry. These guys are basically hung out to dry. These guys have to charge the pikemen. So we have basically guaranteed lost this as the Tomb Kings, but, you know, we'll play it out. We'll see how it goes. Alright, I'm going to leave these guys here because there's a decent chance they're just going to come back. Actually, no, there isn't. There's no chance they're coming back. Because I'm just going to dispel it with 2 dice. Alright. And then we get into the rest of the movement phase. These guys are literally just going to... hang on. Sorry, let me fix this. We're going to wield them like so. And then put them into here. And then try and wield them again. I'm literally just going to allow this. I'm just going to park them in there so they're safer. These guys are going to march up. Or march. They're going to walk up a little bit. Just try and be safe from these guys. We're going to swing around definitely. These guys obviously have charged. They're going to activate their banner. They're going to throw 2 dice at it. Dispel it. And then the combat in which the pikemen will strike first. So it's going to be 12 attacks. We'll hit on 4s. Wound on 4s. Save on 6s. No, wound on 5s. This is still... they only get the strength bonus against cavalry. Which obviously everything they fought up until now has been a cavalry unit. Except for this one. So that's only 1 hit. It's actually not bad. 4 attacks hit on 3s. All hit 3 hit. 3 attacks wound on 3. 4 attacks wound on 3s, sorry. 1 guy dies instantly, and 2 have to make armor saves. I have 6 up. Okay. Oh my goodness, they've actually shockingly done it. So, the pikemen are going to auto break because they just don't have the capacity not to. So they're going to go 5 inches. Be pursued 5 inches, so they're going to die. Um, Five inches over. They all perish except for the one. No, there's no standard bearer in here, damn. That reminds me though, for Pizarro's, there is a standard bearer, so he gets captured by this unit. And Volan's Venators fled from panic, I believe. Yep. These guys I don't think have a banner. Catraz didn't. Okay, no, there's no other banners. Okay, I'm just double checking because obviously capturing banners technically is victory points. I'm just really bad about remembering it. Because that's the end of turn 6 for these guys. We're going to light cavalry 8 inches this way. Wheel 5 inches. Scoot you into here. You guys are going to march 6 inches to capture this board edge. You guys are actually perfectly fine where you are. Lucretia is going to gallop this way. Lucrezzia, however it's pronounced. I'm very tired at this point in time. And then we're going to try and cast. We're going to first see who gets the bonus dice. It is going to be Dogs of War who get it. And that is going to be a 13. Literally undispellable. So we're going to drop this right here. This pit square on top of the unit. Where all 6 of them get hit, and 3 of them definitely get hit, so we'll do this. 3 4s. 4 attacks, hit on 1s, wound on 4s, save on 5s. Go, 1 wound. That's really unfortunate. And then we're going to 3 dice, creeping death at them. That's a success. We're going to attempt to dispel it. That fails. 5 hits. Wound on 4s. No armor saves allowed. Another dead skeleton. And that's the huge breaking point that I was looking for. Now that they are reduced below 5, they don't score victory points for occupying board edges. Or table edges, I should say. Alright, and then finally, cavalry firing. 4 attacks, hit on 5s. Win on 4s, save on 5s. Nothing. Doesn't matter. And with that, that is the end of the game. So let's do some victory point calculations, shall we? So, first things first, we killed the general. 321 points. Plus 100 for killing the general. We then killed the Lich Priest, the Hierophant. We killed the other Lich Priest. We killed the Icon Bearer. We killed 1 unit of Chariots. And we half-strengthed the other. I don't remember who killed the Icon Bearer. I think it was the Dwarfs, but then they ran away, so they lost the opportunity. We half-strengthed the unit of Skeletons. We didn't get the Tomb Guard, but we did get the Catapult. And let me quickly do my check on the board edges. So that's going to be, 72 is 36 by 24. And we have 1 and 2 board edges under our control, so plus 200. So that is 1,786 victory points for the Dogs of War versus, we didn't lose our Paymaster, shockingly, 260 for Pizarro, plus 100 for his captured banner, nothing for our heavy cavalry, 220 for the pikemen. Volan's Venators also fled, so it's 195. The light cavalry survived, the halflings survived, the dwarfs fled, the birdmen of Catraza perished or fled. That is, and then they control 1 table edge. 1,330 victory points for the Tomb Kings. I think that that is a victory. Well, I know that's a victory for the Dogs of War. I think it's like a good victory. I don't think it's a it's definitely not a massacre. I don't know why I'm speculating. I have the rules right here. Alright, that's 1786 minus 1330. 456 victory points, which is, yes, a minor victory for the Dogs of War, which honestly is about what it feels like. I had a lot of fun with that game, but I am not doing one of these again anytime soon, let me tell you. I have been here for an hour and 40 minutes. My voice is sore. I will do more 2,000 point games, obviously. I just need to get used to talking this long, honestly. I'm so used to only going for about 40-50 minutes right now. Like an hour long game is big for me normally. And so this one just took more than expected, but that was kind of what I was testing. I was trying to see just how long it would take me to play a game of this size before I committed to preparing another one. How do I think that game went? I was surprised at how difficult it was to kill the casket. I was confident I would have that thing down in no time. We had the birdmen ready, we had the light cavalry as a backup, and the birdmen just ran away the moment they got near it. I think that halflings are probably one of my MVPs. Not that they did much, they only did like a little bit of wounds, but they did kill the Lich Priest, which is like 160 victory points, and then they marched in and secured another 100 from here. And this was a 60 point unit, so like that was fantastic. MVP on the side of the Tomb Kings definitely would have been the Tomb King himself and his chariot unit. They just plowed through the middle, they did a lot of work. Maybe, I guess, the Casket of Souls could be considered that. Or maybe, honestly, the Screaming Skull Catapult. It didn't kill a lot of things, but it did a lot of destruction with those panic checks. I don't know, it's hard to say. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Tomorrow I have Wood Elves versus... Let me actually double check this. Wood Elves versus Hordes of Chaos doing warbands. I've already drawn these lists up, so I can tell you that Wood Elves, I avoided Tree Spirits entirely, I'm pretty sure. And Hordes of Chaos, it's all cavalry. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then, yeah, we're just going through the rest of them, rounding everyone up one last time. No more Amazons, no more Ogres. We have 2 more standard games, 2 more warbands, 2 more border patrols, and 1 final Little Lords. Which I'm excited for because that's Dogs of War again, and that is going to be Lorenzo Lupo. So if you want to see that, don't forget to subscribe, and until tomorrow, boy!